We're talking all things Hattiesburg and the Pine Belt. You're tuned in to 9 a.m. edition with Michael Mergens on SuperTalk Hattiesburg 97.3.
On a Wednesday, it's 9:06, and another edition of 9 a.m. edition from our studios in Oak Grove. Coming up this hour, actually, big-time radio show today. It's going to be nonstop this morning. Of course, it's Wednesday, so it's William Carey Wednesday, sponsored by Landry Kitchens Germany Architects, creating landmarks since 1932. We appreciate them sponsoring William Carey Wednesday. And the Vice President for Strategic Operations, Dr. Brett Golson, is going to join me live from the Southern Baptist Convention's annual meeting in Orlando, Florida. We're going to talk about all the things that are going on there. Actually, quite a few members of the William Carey staff are on location there, but that's where we put a focus on William Carey University. And things are now ramping up. Actually, it was last month, had Michael Pinto on talking about Festival South, and of course their focus with celebrating the 250th birthday of America on this July 4th, and we had both kind of noticed that it seemed like there wasn't a whole lot going on. I kind of anticipated like a year-long thing. I wasn't alive in 76. I was born in 77. So with the 200th, I just had this image of nonstop, wall-to-wall, bicentennial stuff. So I expected that this year, and you didn't really see a whole lot. It's ramping up now. I was wrong. Within that week, all this stuff starts popping up, all these events, all these things happening. Yes, there are even commemorative coins, quarters. I believe they're even doing nickels and dimes, so check your change for that. They're going to be releasing those periodically throughout the year. I've already got one I'm thrilled about. Of course, I also have a plethora of the 1976 quarters because that's what I do. But coming up on July 4th, it is the 250th birthday, and the Star Spangled Celebration on the River happening July 2nd. Petal River Park and Hattiesburg Chain Park. And Lindsay Brown, the executive director of the Petal Area Chamber of Commerce, is going to join me to talk about that. So a lot going on, but let's jump into it. Up first, from Cronin Family Dentistry, the man himself, Dr. Kelly Cronin. Good morning, Dr. Cronin. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Okay, besides all the things going on as we get ready for the 4th of July, it is summer, people traveling, and I made the mistake of having a small travel size floss with me over the weekend when we went up to the Smoky Mountains. That did not last very long. I have notes now. Full-size floss when traveling, so I ended up having to use a toothpick a few times, but things to keep in mind while you're traveling and that. But June is also Men's Health Month, and with that, there's all the cliches that men don't like going to the doctor or the dentist. They don't really take good care of themselves until it's too late. So who procrastinates more when it comes to dental health, in your experience, Dr. Cronin, men or women?
Oh, that's a tough question. You're asking me to stereotype a group here.
It's men. It's okay.
In full disclosure, I've got some great men that do really, really good job and some great women that do a really good job. But I would say that we do have more women that come see us on a regular basis than men.
Yeah. And I've never really understood that. And, of course, we've talked about this over the years. There is a stigma, and there was a time when going to the dentist was miserable. The technology, the options, everything has changed so much. And if you haven't been to the dentist for a while, you need to make that appointment. And of course, at Cronin, for those that don't have dental insurance, and I don't think we can hit on this enough, you do have an in-house plan, but that is a big reason why a lot of people avoid going to the dentist until it's too late, because they don't have insurance either through their employer or just personally. But a lot of times by waiting until it's too late, that's when it gets expensive and you kind of dig yourself a hole. But that in-house plan that you offer is really great.
It is. It works better than insurance a lot of times. Right now for an individual, you pay $299 for the year, and that gets you 2 free cleanings, all your X-rays needed, and if you need any dental work, you typically get 10 to 15% off of the dental work price, and there's no maximum amount to that. So it's for people that don't have insurance, it really helps them out a whole lot to encourage them to come and get their cleanings regular. If you have more people in your family, you can add down at a lower cost per individual. So it works really good.
With it being Men's Health Month, there are a variety of things that men need to be mindful of when it comes to their overall health, things that typically affect men more than women often, and that's why June is Men's Health Month, to focus on that. So when you go to the dentist, and I don't think we can stress this enough, all the years we've been doing these interviews, it's not just getting your teeth cleaned and making sure you don't have cavities or having cavities filled. There are a variety of things that you're also doing, and really dentistry over the years has kind of become the first line of defense in discovering and catching a lot of other things outside of your general oral health.
Yes, exactly. And oftentimes, signs of diabetes or even heart disease can be manifest in the mouth first. And so we screen for that every time you come in for your initial visit, and each cleaning after that, we screen for mouth cancer and other cancers. We evaluate your bite and your jaws. One thing that probably does affect men more than women that I see is we have a lot more TMJ problems with men, a lot more clenching and grinding, potentially maybe due to stressful work environments and different things. So we see a lot more wear on teeth and fractured teeth, I think, with men than we do women. And those are things that we check for all the time. But we typically like to let the patient know we're doing that just to help them, but that's just automatic for us to check for those things.
Now, of course, I suffer from TMJ for various reasons, but when I first was diagnosed by you, actually, in researching it at the time, it seemed to affect women more. Has that changed?
I don't know throughout the nation or the world who it affects more, but in my office, I do see more men with more damage from that, I guess. TMJ can certainly affect your jaw joint, and that's the equivalent with men and women, but I do see more wear on teeth with men, and I see more fracturing of teeth that often is a result of long-term clenching and grinding the teeth.
And I imagine some men, when they come in, that's the last thing they're thinking about, because they're not looking at the condition of their teeth and probably don't even believe that they grind their teeth until you go to the dentist and you're shown the effects of that. Yeah,
it's pretty obvious to us who, we're familiar with what the teeth should look like without the wear patterns. And when it's in your mouth and you're seeing that day to day, and especially if you're not having any pain or symptoms with it, oftentimes you don't realize that, and sometimes you just think that's just the shape of your teeth. Well, it's become the shape of your teeth after years and years of clenching and grinding and those things.
So what's the treatment for that?
The first line of defense oftentimes is to just stop the sore. So a lot of times we can make a mouth guard, which will protect future wear of the teeth. It also can help stabilize. We can custom fit a mouth guard that helps to stabilize your jaw joint. Once we get your jaw joint stabilized, then we can find definitive cures. Most TMJ issues are muscular related.
Right.
So if we can calm the muscles down that are overworked with the TMJ, then we can find a lot of relief for a person, decreased headaches and jaw pain. We can also prevent future wear and tear of the teeth. So that's usually the first line of defense is to do that. Sometimes we have to use muscle relaxers and things just to stabilize the jaw joint. But that's the first line of defense, is to just get everything stable.
And I know people would be amazed, especially if they deal with, everyone deals with stress nowadays. It's impossible to avoid it. It's how you deal with it in today's world. But the amount of stress that can build up in TMJ is, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it because I butcher it every single time, but it's the abbreviation for the muscles in your jaw. And for whatever reason, those muscles tend to take in a lot of that stress, and that's ultimately what causes those issues. But that's interesting that is something that you're seeing quite a bit in men. But you're not going to know, and you're not going to be able to take care of it unless you go to the dentist. Cronin Family Dentistry has 2 locations, 112 Lamar Boulevard in Hattiesburg and 440 Broad Street in Columbia. To find out more, including to learn more about their in-house dental plan, CroninFamilyDentistry.com, or just give them a call at 601-336-2651 in Hattiesburg. Dr. Kelly Cronin, always great to have you on the program, sir, and really great info. I appreciate it. And that's good for the, actually, we continue 9 a.m. edition. I believe we lost Dr. Cronin there, but 9 a.m. edition continues in a moment. Stay with us.
9 a.m. edition. SuperTalk Hattiesburg 97.3.
Well, I thank Dr. Kelly Cronin from Cronin Family Dentistry for joining me in the first segment. CroninFamilyDentistry.com is the website. And yeah, June is Men's Health Month. Something to put on that list of things to take care of, but they have a great in-house dental plan, very affordable. It covers a lot, and as Dr. Cronin said, a lot of stuff that even insurance won't cover. So I encourage you to get those yearly checkups, because it's more than just cleaning your teeth. There's a lot of stuff going on that they can detect early, and as he said, heart disease, diabetes, of course, TMJ issues. So I appreciate Dr. Cronin for taking the time out today. All right, coming up in the next segment, William Carey Wednesday. Dr. Brett Golson is going to be joining me live from the Southern Baptist Convention's annual meeting in Orlando. He is the VP for Strategic Operations. But first, because the 4th of July is just around the corner, well, we have a few weeks. I was looking at the calendar thinking we're already halfway through June. My weekend vacation has completely thrown me off now. We have some time to prepare and plan for, of course, America's 250th birthday, which means there are some big things happening. And one of the biggest in the area that happens every year is the Star Spangled celebration at Petal River Park and Hattiesburg Chain Park. And joining me in studio, Executive Director of the Petal Area Chamber of Commerce, Lindsay Brown. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming out. First of all, I appreciate it. Okay, this is a big event, and it has been going on for a while.
Yes.
But as I had mentioned in the first segment, the last couple of months, I kind of seemed like we're not really doing a whole lot for the 250th birthday. It just seemed, I expected something to happen all year, like January 1st. This is a whole year event. But of course, July 4th is the date, and within the last month, stuff has just blown up. I'm seeing the shirts. I'm seeing everything now. The quarters. All this stuff is happening. So this is a big deal. And this event is always a big deal, though. But it is special this year.
It's so special. And let me back you up just a little bit and touch on what's going on all year. So America 250th Mississippi is a statewide campaign. Mm-hmm. And there are so many events. If you follow them on social media, America 250 Mississippi, Visit Mississippi, you will see all the events going on across the state for the whole year. Petal and Hattiesburg's big event along that trail for the state is on July 2nd this year. This is an event that we have shared between the Chamber of Commerce of Petal, Downtown Hattiesburg Association, the Forest County Board of Supervisors, the City of Hattiesburg, and the City of Petal. So it is a huge collaborative effort, and that's not even touching on our major sponsors like Forest Health and all of those, Coca-Cola. And so, yes, this event has been going on for years. It was founded, I want to say, about 9 years ago. We added some extra elements this year to make it special and set apart for the semi-quincentennial. It's on July 2nd. It's Star Spangled Celebration, and it is set to be a big one.
And, of course, this being joint with Petal in Hattiesburg, because a month and a half later, Petal and Hattiesburg aren't going to like each other once football season starts.
No way.
And, of course, you can listen to all the Petal Panther football games here on SuperTalk Hattiesburg. But, yeah, it is kind of unique for the two cities to get together, but that's what makes this such a big event.
It's very special. It's a dueling event on either side of the Leaf River. So you have the Hattiesburg's Chain Park and Petal River Park. They're only separated by the river.
Right.
You have two separate stages going on either side of the river, vendors on either side of the river, two totally different towns, just, about 1,000 yards away from each other, having a blast to celebrate America. And this year we're going to be celebrating the semi-quincentennial as well. So I'm really excited about it.
It's a big community picnic is what it is.
Yeah. It's just a huge celebration. And, the fireworks show, that's the calling card for the event, really, because we bring in a company from it's not a local company. We bring them in from out of state, and we do a legitimate professional pyrotechnic show. It goes along to the music. It's spectacular. And it's something that it's a free event for the community. So if you can be there, come down there and see it. It's just wonderful.
That is the key, that it is free.
Yes.
And it's kind of a gift to the citizens on both sides of the river. But there is, as you mentioned, there's stages, so there's live music.
Yes, so Sammy Barr and his wonderful crew have always set up the stages and the sound for this event. He coordinates with our music. Our music, I'm not sure what the Hattiesburg has going for music. I know it'll be wonderful, but the Petal side is going to have Grits and Greens, who is absolutely wonderful, Jacob Arnold and the Bird Dogs, and then we're going to have a little bit of an intro with a father and son called Take Two. We'll be honoring veterans. Forest Health is going to do an amazing little segment for Red, White, Blue, and a Healthy You. It's just, we're doing extra things this year because it is a year that's set apart. And again, we're just so excited. We encourage everyone to come. Free entry at the gate. Once you get in, there are food vendors. There is a kids zone. You can get an armband and they can do the fun jumps. We have face painting, all sorts of things. It's family friendly. It's just a wonderful evening.
I'm glad you brought up the kids zone, because having an 8-year-old, you tell them we're going to go see a fireworks show. Great. But you want to get there early to get a good spot. And then you set up and you're listening to music, but most kids are like, this is it? Where's the fireworks? I don't want to. So I'm so glad you have the kids zone. It's like, okay, you go over there for a little while.
No, so they are totally occupied. This year, the kids zone on the Petal side is going to be run by Kids Hub Child Advocacy Center.
Okay.
And all armband proceeds are going to go to help, their fight against child abuse prevention. And so we have plenty of things. We have light ups for sale for the kids. There's music, there's food, there's fun jumps, there's face painting. Come down there early, get a good spot, and enjoy the entire evening, I would say, because when you do get there right at time for fireworks, you might not get your food in time. You might be having to sit in the back, and I would just hate for someone to have to miss it because they didn't get down there at a good time.
So we talked about this there are year-long events, and it just shows how disconnected I am from the world, because I've been just so shocked all this stuff all of a sudden happening. It's like, okay, which is great, and I'm thrilled about. When did planning for this year start?
Oh my goodness! So
was this like a few years knowing that 2026 was on the way?
For 250?
Yeah.
Well, this event, so the playbook for this event was created by our predecessors at Petal Chamber and the Downtown Hattiesburg Association. So the blueprint plan is there to make this a great event. Now, in order to make it an America 250 event and apply for those grants and that funding, we had to add some additional elements in order to set it apart from a normal year. And the Petal Chamber did receive one of those grants from the state, making it an official 250 event. And so a little bit more legwork, a little bit more fundraising went into play. I started the back end of this event, which is months in advance, months and months ago. But marketing, you're going to start seeing, you said you're starting to see things all of a sudden. Well, that's all those months of work. And now the marketing is starting so that we can get the public there. So it's kind of it's a funny thing of an event. You think it's all of a sudden, but for months in the background, we've been working really, really hard to make sure we have the funding and coming up with the plan to make it happen. In the past, and I know you are new at the Petal Chamber, but just the response to these events, it's always really big. So anticipation and thinking, well,
here it is. It's we're celebrating the 4th of July, 250. Do you anticipate more people perhaps because of that? Because that's what's in my mind. It's like you have to do something. It's the 250th birthday.
So several thousand come annually no matter what. This year I'm expecting maybe to increase that by 1,000 or 2,000. Wow. Fingers crossed. So in order to make that happen, you have to have more food vendors. You have to have more, lines get long on a normal year. So excuse me, this year we do have a few more food vendors than we typically do, a few more drink vendors to kind of try to combat long lines and long wait times. It is hot down there. Yeah. And again, I just cannot stress enough to get down there early, get you a good spot. Otherwise, you might be sitting back at the bridge watching it.
Right.
And you don't want that.
So with that, how early can people start setting up?
So the event officially kicks off with the national anthem and the pledge at 6, but we are going to go ahead and let people start coming in around 5:15.
Okay. All right. That's not bad. Yeah, not bad at all.
Now I'm sorry to interrupt. That's the Petal side. So I cannot stress enough, just watch the social media because Chain Park may not be opening till 5:30 or whatever time they're going to do. But the Petal River Park will be allowing people to start coming in around 5:15.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Can you speak to some of the food vendors? Maybe not going through all of them, but some of the highlights.
Just right off the top of my head, obviously we love Petal Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
They're a huge support of our chamber and our community and our schools. And so, of course, they'll be there selling chicken sandwiches and anything like that. And then we have Jack's Seafood. They're usually there. They're coming back. T&J concessions, so think fair food.
Oh, thank goodness. I was thinking about that with my daughter. It's like,
you can get your chicken on a stick, your fried corn dogs, and things like that. And we have several more. Those are the three that are just popping off the top of my head, but it's going to be great.
The big highlights. And again, it is a huge community picnic. It is free admission. You do want to make sure you bring your own lawn chairs and blankets, though.
Yes. We will have a tent where you can rent a lawn chair if you somehow don't have one or forget to bring that. But yes, you can bring in chairs and lawn chairs. And
heads up, no pets. Of course, with fireworks, you don't want to do that anyway, but there's always somebody that just thinks that's a good idea. It's not. So no pets, glass, tents, or personal fireworks. Let them do the show.
Yes.
You don't need to do your own fireworks show. But again, it's happening Thursday, July 2nd, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Fireworks at 9 p.m. at both Petal River Park and Hattiesburg Chain Park. Lindsay Brown, Executive Director of the Petal Area Chamber of Commerce. So great to have you on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we're looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great night.
And 9 a.m. edition continues. William Carey Wednesday coming up next. Stay with us.
Edition with Michael Mergens. SuperTalk Hattiesburg, 97.3.
I want to thank Lindsay Brown, Executive Director of the Petal Area Chamber of Commerce. Star Spangled celebration. Special this year with the 250th birthday of America. It's happening Thursday, July 2nd, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Fireworks kick off at 9 p.m. at Petal River Park and Hattiesburg Chain Park. So you got live music, food, drink, kids zone, thank goodness. I mentioned over the weekend we were in the Smoky Mountains on vacation and went through Great Smoky Mountain National Park, which my wife and I absolutely loved. We loved doing the nature thing, saw some bears. It was great. Daughter, when are we going to Dollywood? Oh, my gosh. Piper, take it all in. Come on. Look where you're at. There's mountains and bears, and we don't have that in central Mississippi. Take it. When are we going to Dollywood? So I get it. So thank goodness there's a kids zone. Like, what do you mean you have to sit here and wait for the fireworks? Go to the kids zone, and I will come get you before the fireworks start. But I really appreciate, of course, City of Petal and City of Hattiesburg for putting that on. But I am learning a lot in the last month of all the things going on for 250. And really, a lot of stuff kicks off with the 4th. Of course, that's the day. But then there are events happening throughout the rest of the year celebrating. And like I mentioned, I was really worried about this because I collect coins, mostly wheat pennies. That's just what I got into as a kid. But of course, you get the bicentennial quarters from 1976, and I always tended to save them because they were different. I kept thinking, well, is the mint going to be making special ones this year? Because 250 is pretty important. Yep, they are. Actually, instead of just one, there are 5 designs, I believe, and 2 have already been released. They're going to be releasing them periodically through the year. But, yep, it's a big one, and if you really want to take it all in and celebrate because it is 250, this is the event to go to, the Star Spangled Celebration on the River. All right, it's Wednesday. That means it's William Carey Wednesday. This is where we put a focus on William Carey University. Brought to you by Landry Kitchens, Germany Architects, creating landmarks since 1932. And joining me live from the Southern Baptist Convention's annual meeting in Orlando, Florida, Vice President for Strategic Operations, Dr. Brett Golson. Good morning, Dr. Golson, and welcome.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. First off, thank you for taking the time out, because I know with these conventions, there's so much going on, so many things happening. Yeah. But let's be honest, you're at Disney, aren't you? You're not at the convention.
So I got to tell you this true story. I've been coming to conventions for 35 years. We've been in Orlando several times, and I'm 57 years old. I've never set foot at Disney.
I'm 40. I'm 48. And I haven't either.
The thought of standing in lines and sweating, no thanks.
Good. I'm not the only one. My wife thinks I'm nuts. It's like it's the happiest place on earth. Like, I don't care. I don't want to wait in line. I just don't. Fast pass, I'm not paying extra.
Nope.
I'm good with that. Of course, I grew up, I had Six Flags Great America near where I was. My parents told me it's the same thing, so I believed them. So that's my mindset now. Six Flags is the same thing. It's all good.
Yeah.
But there is a lot going on. So talk about what's been happening while you're there.
Oh, wow. So if you know anything about the Southern Baptist Convention, this is our annual business meeting. We're structured differently. We're not a top-down denomination. We believe in the autonomy of the local church. So the 47,000 churches globally, just under 13 million individuals that make up those churches, and they send representatives each year to a certain location, and they set the business agenda and the vision and everything for our convention. So everything from spending money on missions to what we believe in doctrine, these churches come together and we unify together, and we have a business meeting, and we talk things out, we vote, and that sets the agenda for the whole year. Most of this is funded. We're a little different structurally when it comes to funding. We believe that all these churches participate in what is called the cooperative program, and so each church gives a % of their money to go into a pool of money, and this is how we fund missions, church planting, and just all the things that we do, disaster relief. Globally. And so there's nothing like it on earth. When you get 47,000 churches participating to come together and say, we want to reach the globe for Christ, and here's how we're going to do it, and they pool their money and the resources and their talent, that's what the Southern Baptist Convention is about. So we got about 20,000 people down here, and we're down here with 20,000. William Carey is represented. We put up, of course, in the exhibit hall, all the different entities, and universities come and put their booths up, and people come around. We have alumni that come around and talk, and then we have prospective students that come, and that's what we're really down here about is promoting the best Christian university in the nation, number one in best college, top university, best small college, best Christian college, best college for education. So we're number one in so many ways, and we're down here to tell people about that.
Well, yeah, and speaking to that, it probably gets expensive. You're having to reprint all your promotional material every year because there's new accolades every few months at Carey that you can promote.
Well, fortunately, the things that we promote with students, there are view books, there are programs, and there are some accolades in there, but they're evergreen. But we do a lot of new prints on push cards and like you said, all the new things. So there's a lot of that, and we're grateful for that. I mean, I'm thankful that we're constantly having to upgrade our marketing and promotional materials simply because when you hit top 10 ranked Christian university in the top 20 medical school, number one medical school in the nation, U.S. News report, for primary care, and we're in the top tier of the nation in every category. And so, when you get things like that, we don't mind printing new stuff out. That's easy, but getting those rankings is very hard. It takes great leadership. Dr. Burnett, the cabinet, our deans and our teachers, they all participate in making William Carey great. And so when we hit those rankings, we'll print something else out.
Of course, here locally, we know what's going on with William Carey. We know the accolades because we're getting the news and you are a part of the community. What's the response from those that aren't necessarily from Mississippi, from other parts of the country or other parts of the world that may be aware of Carey but aren't aware of what Carey has been doing, especially in the last 10, 15 years?
Well, believe it or not, of all the Christian universities globally, William Carey is talked about the most, and here's the reason why. We are the last institution. We provide tuition, room, meal plan, and textbooks for all missionary kids. So they don't pay out of pocket. We also provide the same scholarship structure for our North American Mission Board missionaries, church planners, chaplains. So there's nobody else on the globe doing that. So when I tell you that I have people constantly, dozens and dozens, hundreds of people coming up that are missionaries in all over the world saying, thank you for what you do, they keep up with Carey because we are ministering to missionary kids that they can't, a lot of them can't afford college. And so we're trying to make a pathway for them that's much easier. And so we have a relationship with those entities, the International Mission Board, North American Mission Board, where whatever they give us is what we accept. So Carey is talked about globally probably more than any institution that I know of.
Wow. That's incredible. Not surprising, but again, locally we keep up with everything going on with Carey. But yeah, when you consider just the world impact that the university is having, it makes a lot of sense. Now, we've been talking about America's 250th birthday coming up on July 4th. So a part of this annual meeting, special this year, was celebrating freedom in honor of that anniversary.
Yes, there was a resolution passed. I was on the floor. Like I said, you get 10,000 people doing business. There's 20,000 total here. But we passed a resolution celebrating the 250 and other things. I mean, there's a lot of things happening, a lot of resolutions that kind of define who we are and what we believe. One of the things I'm really proud of is that we are taking on churches that have difficulties because of resources and sometimes knowledge on how to minister to people with disabilities. And so a lot of different resolutions will come out of this, and people can Google those and find out. And I do need to mention, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that the missionary scholarship and what we consider missionary kids, that scholarship, we are endowing that scholarship. So if anybody wants to give to Carey, that's a great way to give, is to that missionary scholarship, so that we can continue ministering to students that their parents are serving all the way around the world, and they need a good place to send their kids.
And that speaks volume. Of course, William Carey, the father of modern missions, and Carey continuing that. And I've even had this conversation with Dr. Burnett, in a world where so many Christian-based universities are unfortunately making the decision to become a part of the world, Carey staying firm on its foundation, and you see the blessings from God by doing that, by putting God first. I imagine that's just, it's something to be really proud of, but at the same time, you know that you're reaching people and making such an impact through that.
Yeah, so when I say this, I mean, I've been at Carey going on 15 years, and I've been in education for a long time. I know this is my expert opinion on this. With all the institutions globally, but certainly in the United States, that have some type of Christian something attached to them. William Carey is genuinely a Christian university, and that means you're going to see, we have chapel. We are associated with the Mississippi Baptist Convention, which is an incredible convention to be a part of, great leadership. But we also have a doctrine of faith, and the Baptist Faith and Message is our doctrine of faith, and it tells you what we believe. Now, not everybody that comes to Carey is a Christian. We love everyone, but we ourselves, as an institution and as a Christian university, are Christian, and we're not, we're not taking a step back from that. We're going to reach people for the gospel because we genuinely believe that, we have doctors and nurses, and you can heal the body, but only one can heal the soul, and that's Christ. And we want people to be introduced to the love and the saving grace of Jesus Christ. And that's why Carey exists. And you're right, I do believe that's why we see so much of the favor of God on the university, is because we have not taken a step back from that.
Amen. Dr. Brett Golson, Vice President for Strategic Operations, live from the Southern Baptist Convention's annual meeting in Orlando. Thank you so much for taking the time out today. I do appreciate it.
It's our pleasure, as always. Thank you, brother.
And 9 a.m. edition continues. More coming up. Stay with us.
9 a.m. edition. SuperTalk Hattiesburg, 97.3.
Well, I thank Dr. Brett Golson, Vice President for Strategic Operations at William Carey University, live from the Southern Baptist Convention's annual meeting in Orlando. I joke about the Disney thing. I will go. I'm not making it up, though. I was told growing up, Six Flags Great America was no different than Disney. I believed it. I know my parents were wrong. But apparently I've taken on that cheap side too. But someday I will go to Disney. But it's just amazing what William Carey is doing, and to have that recognition worldwide, the impact that they are making, of course, through missions. But it is so true, because I get that response from people when I bring up Carey, which happens a lot. It just comes up in conversation because of what's going on, the accolades, the academic opportunities, of course, the athletic opportunities, with the success of pretty much all of their athletic teams. It's incredible that with two universities in the same town, but William Carey has maintained that Christian base. That is their foundation. And look at the blessings that have been bestowed on them and like I said, I've had this conversation with Dr. Ben Burnett, other people at William Carey, that they have seen university, quote unquote, Christian universities. And Dr. Golson's right. I know of a few that are maintaining the Christian university mentality, but there is no foundation there. They've gotten away from it. They're becoming a part of the world. And that's the problem. Of course, they do that to get students, to get funding from states and the government, whatever the reason is. They get new leadership that tends to take them away from that, where Carey has maintained it. And look at it. Number one medical school just in the state of Mississippi, where everyone's like, well, I thought that was Ole Miss. Nope. And the fact that they're focused on rural health, that is really their goal. That's who they're training through the school. And it's such a need. And that's what every school in the country, no matter the university, college, community college, junior college, needs to look at the needs within not only the community, but within the state. What jobs need workers, careers? We've been doing this since we were founded. Yeah, we get that it's going away and there's not many jobs, but it's part of when you have leadership that is looking to benefit their students, to ensure that they have careers, opportunities after graduating. That's what every parent wants. That's what every student should want. Not, hey, it would be fun to do this, go to college for this. and then they graduate and there's no opportunities. They end up working just a regular 9-to-5 job wherever that has nothing to do with their degree. Where Carey is creating these opportunities that are lifelong. They are great opportunities and needs. That's the key, needs. Mississippi is a very rural state. That is why they have put a lot of focus through the medical school, nursing, even the pharmacy school, on rural. And a lot of these students, not just in Mississippi, but across the country, you have students from rural areas that realize, hey, it doesn't really work when people are having to drive an hour, 2 hours to get medical attention, even just to see a primary care physician. We're kind of going back to the days of that neighborhood town doctor, someone you can go see. Now, yes, specialists, you're going to have to go to a larger place, but the first line defense, just like with Dr. Cronin and dentistry, is that primary care. So I love everything that William Carey's doing because of that. And again, because of the foundation in Christ. And look at the blessings. When you put Christ first, look at what can happen. And it is happening. And it reverberates around the world, especially when you consider all the missionaries that they support and help. And again, William Carey, the father of modern missions, the namesake of the university, spreading that gospel worldwide. But we also need it locally. And it's what a lot of these students do. Once they graduate, they get in their careers. It could be the guy living next door to you, guy or woman. They're spreading the gospel because of that foundation that they experienced by attending William Carey University. All right, want to thank Dr. Kelly Cronin from Cronin Family Dentistry for joining me in the first segment. CroninFamilyDentistry.com is the website. And, of course, Lindsay Brown, Executive Director of the Petal Area Chamber of Commerce. Star Spangled celebration on the river, Petal River Park, Hattiesburg Chain Park, Thursday, July 2nd. Everything kicks off at 6 p.m., goes till 10 p.m. Fireworks at 9 p.m. Live music, food vendors, drink vendors, kids zone. It is free admission. But make sure you bring your own lawn chair and blankets. And please, 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 especially as people start getting their own personal fireworks, if you have pets, especially dogs, that don't do well with that, please keep them inside. It really frustrates me the days after a 4th of July or even New Year's when people are firing off fireworks. A lot of posts up, hey, my dog got out last night. My dog got scared and ran away. Please keep that in mind. But no pets, no glass, no tents, or personal fireworks. Let the professionals do the fireworks show. That's going to do it for today's show. We'll be back here next week. So until then, as always, please be safe, be kind. God bless.